nights, need to rebuild myself, to come alive. It all makes sense now, now that the lights out. It's a different world to me, it makes me feel down. Wait until the storm comes down, until the sleep comes and makes it alright. Waiting for the morning light.
K7, kill it back to the middle of the map. Reject's gonna slide out. Rejects is there now. Gaston trying to make a play. Will go for one. Tries to pre-fire onto the second, but from behind here comes Atomic for two.
Are you ready for this?
Welcome, everybody. We got the K7 League here. We're going to be going at it. The week 3, I believe, is the conclusion. What we got over here, we got KGK versus 5 Star Esports. It's me, TG, joined by Kamika as well, also doing the production. Lovely having him doing both. So you know what? We're here. We're at it. We didn't think we'd be here, but we are. So I don't know. What are we expecting for this matchup? Maybe.
Well, TG, that's the funny thing is, what can we really expect for this match? Looking at these teams' records, they haven't won a whole lot of games. They're both at the bottom of their group as we throw up the old. Sorry, let me see if I can find. Never mind. I'll just tell you right now. Both these teams are at the bottom of their group. So one of them, KGK, they have won 1 game, and 5 Star Esports, they have won absolutely 0 games. So it's gonna be a fight to not be last right now, TG.
Yeah, I mean, really, for the side of 5 Star, it's really just looking to come up, show that your league's capable, show that you have some glimmer of hope, I would say, overall, that you can get stuff done. And yeah, for KGK at this point, we're starting to reach a point where the records, we're starting to see these groups, I think, start to spread out in terms of some of their talent rankings, and it's just a matter of, can you shake that up, or will you sort of fall in line here? Do people still have something to pull out of their back pocket, a little rabbit out of their hat, some magic?
Yeah, they are gonna need a little bit of magic tonight, TG. As you do know, 5 Star Esports, they have not won, I don't even think, a single map yet. So you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but KGK, we've seen them, they've at least won 1 game. So it's gonna be definitely a little bit of a climb for 5 Star Esports. It's, in my mind, it might not seem like a whole big of a difference having 1 win versus having 0 wins in a lot of people's minds, but that is, in my mind, a little bit of an edge because you've had at least a little bit of a reprieve from just getting constantly dogged on every single week. So I feel like KGK are gonna be coming into this a little bit more optimistic and fresh, going up against 5 Star Esports, whereas 5 Star Esports are the underdogs, and they know they are, despite the fact that they're basically on even footing with these guys. So it just changes the dichotomy of the match in my mind, TG.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with that. You have 1 win under your belt. You're at least showing that you can have what it takes to take some maps off of teams. I mean, and it certainly depends on which team you're playing against. But in general, at the very least, that you are capable. You have done it. You've been in winning position. The side of 5 Star Esports, maybe some of the maps, again, I don't really know any of the results. I don't know if they have won any or haven't won any, but it's just a matter of, just if you get close, just not falling apart, able to keep things together. They just yet to really show that they can do that within the season.
Yeah, and as we get into this match, TG, we're going to see quite a few maps tonight. As opposed to our usual 2, we're going to be seeing 3 different maps. Fun. So we're going to start off with Bokaj, going into Tuscan, Gavutu 2 times if need be, and then Bokaj. So yeah, that's the maps that we got. Quickly going through the rosters, take us through KGK.
Honestly, I don't have those in front of me, so I don't really know.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
I guess I can look at the game screen. That is the thing. We got Kyle, we got Puzzled, we got Comet, we got Huncho over for the side of KGK. The side of 5 Star is going to be Jump Season, Squib, Diffie, and Kazan. Some names I don't really know. Some I think we saw KGK in the kickoff over back in the day, but it'll be interesting to see if they've made improvements again. Like the records are not necessarily amazing, but it's just a matter of, I think, if a team can get a fundamental in this match, just with them being sort of toward the bottom half, they technically should be a somewhat close matchup. Just on paper for, slightly different reasons, I would say, than usual.
And TG, the moment we've all been waiting for is finally upon us. We are getting in with some Bokaj Hardpoint. Everybody's favorite Hardpoint map. I don't care what you guys say. It is the most beloved map of Hardpoint in some people's minds. Definitely not all. But yeah, what can we expect on this map? Just a whole lot of gunfights, and you can pretty much tune out for the first little bit, but obviously if you like watching good gunfights, people getting turned on and burned on, and a little bit of a taste for what's going to happen on later on in the map, then stay tuned. It's definitely going to be worth the watch.
I may not be able to catch with you for like Bocage. These are fundamentally differences in the beliefs that I absolutely cannot stand for.
Oh, yikes.
But regardless, we'll be getting into the Bocage, the map one. Generally, the one that almost every series just about starts off with. In a lot of regards, sometimes you see some change up for the most part. Bocage, though, is that go-to for a lot of teams. Get sort of the gun up, get warmed up is really what I like to say. This is that warm-up map, really. But we'll see how things shake on up. KGK, the opening time is going to be going them. Those jumps coming on out, finding one, finding two, and on the hill he goes. And for right now, the rotation for Diffie, he's going to be sort of set up. The same thing with number 2. The spawns for P2 looking so far in favor of 5-Star Esports as this P1 starts to close on out a little bit.
Yeah, P1 is starting to close down, and not a whole lot of ground being gained by KGK, I'm going to be honest with you. And on the inverse, TG, we have Jump Season with his 5th kill is going to be netting him that streak. But Team KGK, they pick a good time to go in for a break on the spawns, and somehow 5-Star Esports, they're not rotated and not ready for it. It's all on Diffie to win this gunfight, which you can't. You can forgive him for that because he was up against 2 people, and just like that, KGK swindling the spawns away from their opponents.
Yeah, jumps back at it again. It's going to be seen. One in the corner, gets him. Comes around the backside. Can he push on in through barn? The rest of the players starting to spawn on in. It's like a little bit of a wave after wave after wave as you kind of see these players sort of stacked up in waves.
Ooh, okay.
Come on in. Puzzle finds one. There's going to be another one to his left, and one more on the hill gets the kill. And Puzzle trying to pop on off. Eventually will fall to the trades are there.
KGK, they are pretty much bringing themselves back off this objective, but yeah, I mean, 5-Star Esports, despite the early break, they haven't really let the game fall too far away from themselves, although I do have to criticize they could definitely be in a lot better of a spot coming out of this last objective because of how good of a start they had on it. In theory, they could have. But yeah, KGK, they're doing a good job on the rotations as well. It's looking like KGK are starting to play a little bit better on the rotations as much as of a benefit that can give you on this map. It's getting them at least a momentary benefit.
Yeah, really, you get rotation. It really just kind of guarantees you sort of 5 seconds or so, as opposed to some of the hills where it's like can be upwards of 20. But you know, overall, if you get trapped behind the wall, it definitely can be a very, very tough time. But I'm gonna be honest with you as well. There's been some differences in sort of the meta, sort of the usual setup that we've seen. We see Kyle here. He's had the bulk, trying to get some kills with it, but also I believe we saw Sticky earlier as well. And just new things on the map. The update added a few things. I don't necessarily know what will be GA'd off the bat here, but I mean, overall, definitely interesting to see some shakeup in the possibilities that maybe this game in general, just a bigger picture, starts to shake up a little bit. But now Diffie, one shot needed to reload, just like hags him, with just a little bit like a dart.
You hate to see it from Diffie, running out of bullets at the worst possible time. And again, KGK are going to be beating their opponents on one of the most beneficial objectives to get a good rotation on TG. Cal, definitely not a big cash money grenade, and he gets a little bit taken down there. Feels bad for him. Jump literally walks right in front of his opponents. We're seeing a little bit of bad times for all these teams when it comes to their corner checking, but KGK still going to be in a momentary advantage with the hill time and holistic map control. You see, they have some good presence in the middle of the map, whereas 5-Star Esports do not. It kind of makes them have to push in from one way or the other. Cal, he's trying to envelop the 5-Star Esports players once again, and that's something that they can do because they've got this good map control, and Cal, just as you notice, he's ripping them to pieces.
Yeah, we've seen him pop off in Bocage, I think, earlier. Like he in an S&D, like we've seen him when he gets into form. He can be an absolute force in some cases to be reckoned with. And you know, yeah, on this map, you know, if you can start to pop on off. Overall, we got Huncho 12-9 for the moment. We got Comet at 12-10. So far, KGK looking all right in terms of some of their positioning, some of their holds, and Comet a nice big win there. But number 2 working his way around the backside, comes on through tower. Comet catches
I thought he had him.
Off guard. Yeah, I thought he was about to get the pistol switch off and get the kill, but ultimately does not quite happen. Regardless, though, the trade is there.
I was about to say, how many people do you have to throw at Comet to kill this guy? Obviously, 5 is the magic number because you kill him right before he gets the streaks. But at the same time, all those bodies you throw away, their deaths mean absolutely nothing because all this time in the meantime, TG has been ticking into the hands of KGK. And now, I'm not one to say that rotations mean a whole lot on this map, but you have to win at least one. And so far, 5-Star Esports hasn't gotten a single good rotation to their name, and even on a map like this, TG, that is hurtful.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, really, when it comes down to rotation, you have slightly easier gunfights and the advantage on your side. It's not like other maps where it's like purely flat out you have the control, but regardless, if you're set up and the other team needs to come forward to you, it definitely is always a benefit regardless of the map. It's just a matter of how many angles can you really watch on this map, and certainly with people just constantly throwing themselves at you, it can be a little bit tricky and overwhelming as hills start to get underway. But right now, Kazan on the hill comes on out through Barn. Huncho going to be shutting him down. Diffie from the back through the mid. Possibility for one, no, it's going to be his teammate Squibs that finds two instead.
Yeah, he does actually find a good rotation. Just as I was talking smack on them for not getting good spawns, Diffie taking matters into his own hands completely goes around the entire defense of KGK. They were very focused on getting the time off of this objective for just some mid and bottom map control, and Diffie just strolled right on through P2 like it was nobody's business, and he flipped the spawns, killed everyone around the back. Even really didn't have to do too much killing. I think he's gotten like, what, 2 kills? And that's the easiest flip I've ever seen 5-Star Esports getting on this map.
Yeah, now Diffie's going to be on this hill. Stuns, some tags, and eventually the kill to finish him off. Kazan comes on out, finds one. There's going to be a few more players around. Number 8, though, on that long edge. Comet, we've seen him go big. We've seen what he can do with an AR in hand once he watches the lane, watches overhead. Diffie just getting tagged, forced to back away, going, I'm not challenging that. Well, Comet is posted on up, allowing the rest of his team as well to push on up, to push forward. They do get this break in 5-Star. I mean, they're behind is not the biggest gap that I think we've seen, but regardless, you don't want to get too far behind in Bocage because things can get very scrappy. It's a really, really tough situation to really get a lot of enough hill time to really bring things back on this map sometimes.
Yeah, TG, I'm going to bring it up again. 5-Star Esports, they did finally get their one good rotation, but it wasn't enough because their setup after it didn't really follow suit. And that's one of the major things about this map is your post-rotational setup when you get onto the hill initially, and that's something that 5-Star Esports has been lacking as well, that KGK has not been. KGK, they were beaten to the hill the last time, and they were able to break them pretty much instantaneously and make it as if that good play from them had pretty much never happened. Diffie trying to hold around the side here. This is another thing you got to worry about for KGK, is Comet, as you so wittily pointed out, has been killing people with the AR. Gets another one just as I say this. He's looking to keep these reinforcements from 5-Star Esports penned up in their spawns.
That spawn trap can be absolutely deadly, keeps it going, and 5-Star there, I mean, they're still spawning right near him. Comet, he does get tagged. The rest of his teammates are here to add some benefits of support here, try and help him on out, and he's just been posted up. He's on that 3 streak. Possibility for maybe a glide is if he can just find 2 more kills. He knows one hopped on up. There's going to be one more down low. He's going to maybe challenge it. Finds maybe one. No, not quite. He will go down, and for right now, we'll have to see how this rest of this map starts to play on out. The Barn Hill pops on up, but KGK, they've gained quite a lead now. They're at 180, having control over that next hill. 5-Star at that 100-point mark. And honestly, to touch on what you were saying about a lot of these rotational setups and sort of the hills, like this is not one where it's like you have your players spread out. This is one where you're really like sort of tucked into the hills. I feel like you're keeping your arms and legs within the coaster on a lot of these hills.
Yeah, and just as we're saying this, KGK keeping themselves nice and slightly tucked into the objective. They had 2 people in there, which is typical on this map. You got 1 guy, 2 people on the objective, 1 guy watching mid and 1 guy watching top, and getting assistance from the people on the objective if needed. And so that's a pretty good setup that we see KGK having once again, and it's not letting a whole lot of time go into the hands of 5-Star Esports. Yeah, they might have some flashy kills here and there, especially jump, but those kills are starting to dry up. As you see, they're starting to go from very good KDs to negative, and this point margin isn't even really justifying it either. KGK, they've thoroughly woken up, and their opponents are really not having such great of a time as we see Huncho getting around the back once again. Not even a single good setup being allowed for 5-Star Esports as they ripped them off the tank, and that is the only player that they had back there, TG. So KGK, once again, doing terrible damage early on in the hill.
Yeah, and what you're saying about some of the KDs, I mean, when you're looking at KGK, yeah, definitely in some good position for them. Comments at 27 and 18 for crying out loud. Puzzled though, I mean, he may only be at 17 and 27, sort of, I'd say that weak link in terms of the kill department, but he has to look at the time. He has 1 minute and 4 seconds. 5-Star Esports, I mean, no one's really picking up that time other than Jumps, who's also being the one slaying on out. It's kind of that position where you need everyone around you to be getting these kills so that way you can just soak up the time as well, and as opposed to having to take these constant engagements on the hill and locking on down. And for 5-Star, I mean, the support, the pressure, it's just not been there from the rest of the team.
Yeah, and another thing to point out, TG, is the fact that, especially recently, KGK has been getting the trades. Every single time we're on a 5-Star Esports player from the observing point of view, when we see them get a kill, they always get killed right after by a KGK player. Every single time without fail. And so, yeah, that's really limiting what they can do. KGK is not letting them get a lot of bang for their buck in terms of kills, and KGK, they're doing a lot better at reinforcing their positions. It's leading to a spot where 5-Star Esports is not able to break really anything, and Comet coming in with the orbital bombardment, taking down Dippy and Kaizen off the objective. That's just more pain and misery for the side of 5-Star Esports at a time when they need it the least. 20 seconds left on this objective, but, I mean, 9 seconds is all you need to win if you're KGK. It's definitely doable, TG. You gotta be worried if you're 5-Star.
I mean, again, it's P1 for crying out loud. It's so scrappy. It's so tough to really for either side to get a hold, but I mean, the KGK, they just need to trickle in some points, and there you go. They do get it done. Close it on out for their third set of rotations. 250 to 227 will be that final scoreline. And yeah, I'm gonna comment that massive streak at the sort of end of the game, really shaking things on up, really stirring up the pot for the side of 5-Star Esports, forcing them to sort of readjust. And I mean, KGK overall, I think they started off a little bit slow, but by the end of it, I mean, they were absolutely heated. They're absolutely warmed up. I mean, we saw a lot of them start to pop on off at very key moments.
Yeah, a lot of the KGK players were looking pretty hot, especially towards the end. We saw that last kill streak from Cal, the final kill cam, very well deserving of it. And yeah, we also saw Comet doing nasty things to people, tying people in knots throughout the entire game. A little bit of a person we didn't see a whole lot of, but got a lot of kills was Huncho. He got over 30. I think he got like the most kills out of anybody on his team, and somehow he slipped under my radar, just getting those kills, being silently violent. And
yeah,
so,
silent but deadly.
Silent but deadly indeed.
Silent but deadly. And you know, if you're a player sort of under the radar, you kind of want to be like that. I mean, again, it's a little bit different from the outside perspective of a caster to in-game. Maybe they're really calling him out, saying, hey, we need to shut him down. But sometimes, like, if you have that upper hand, you're going into a gunfight and people don't really recognize the power that you have. Honestly, that's an advantage. You're sort of that secret weapon that can kind of be pulled on out and being like, he's the guy who's also going to be making plays when you need it. You got the flashy, you got the under flashy, but consistent. You know, there's a lot of different categories that a lot of players can sort of be tossed into. But after this one, what is it? A Tuscan, I believe. I honestly don't remember what the next map after this one is. But regardless, it's going to be a little bit slower than Bocage, but Tuscan still is a map where they need to keep the heat going for the side of KGK, and I think that they can do it based on what I was seeing toward the end of that Bocage.
Oh yeah, definitely got to be keeping the heat going into the Tuscan. This is not the time to slow down. I mean, maybe just a little bit. I gotta say that, because Bocage, you can afford to just fly at each other, especially when it's hardpoint, but Tuscan, you have to be a little bit more conservative with your lives, obviously. There's definitely a lot of benefit to flying into the A site and getting it quickly, but that's only insofar as you can predict what your opponents are doing. That's something you can do good early on to get a feel for what your opponents like to do, if they're pretty good with hitting you with the grenades off the objective, and if they try to push up on you aggressively, or if they're more of a team that tries to hold back and be a little bit more passive and play for retakes. It's a good way to get a good feel for how your opponents are going to play early on.
Yeah, I mean, Tuscan is one of those maps where you cannot really throw your life out too much more than you really need to. It's definitely chaotic and can be fast-paced like Bocage, but there's a lot more thinking and setups involved. You know, a lot of these fields, we have like actual headaches and angles that are really being watched that are really, really crucial to not only hold spawns, but also like keep the opponents back. Because, like, I mean, you're talking about the Water Fountain Hill, like it's really, really nice to get those backside spawns and just keep the other team in those sort of bottlenecks. And there's a lot of that on Tuscan where it's kind of like bottlenecks where sometimes you have to full force your way into a hill, but like you need to have those trades coming in as well, and they'll know where you're coming from.
Yes, and we'll see just how much that comes into play on the Search and Destroy. But ladies and gentlemen, we will be coming back at you very, very soon. Quick break, but emphasis on the quick. The game will be starting very soon. We'll see you in a bit. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are back in here with a little bit of Tuscan Search and Destroy action, everybody's favorite map. I say that about all the maps, fun fact. And I am joined by TG.
Yes, sir. And well, yeah, the Tuscan S&D, it will be the side of 5-star that's looking to fight back a little bit, sort of show up a little bit if they can, show that, hey, we have something to prove here. That Bocage, I mean, it started off kind of even, but by the end, I mean, it was pretty clear that KGK, they just had the firepower, they had the setups down where 5-star Esports were just not able to really take them on. But now we'll have to see how things play on out within the S&D, if maybe things improve for the side of 5-star.
Now we're seeing a lot of different things going on the different sides of the map, but the thing we got to look at right now, TG, is the fact that Team KGK has gone in for a quick plant. They've spotted Kaizen. They're going to try and get a nade onto him. Kaizen trying to crawl away and does get around the corner in time. Jump Season trying to jump into action. He's spotted Cal, sees that he's just shot a sniper rifle bullet and jumps into action, takes him down. Comet is still going to be back here though, runs right past him somehow, does not get the better of Jump Season. Just a little bit puzzled, but Puzzled is still going to be alive within view of the bomb site.
I mean, right off the bat, Jumps a good two-piece start, and well, there you go. Kaizen with the other, and just like that, it's going to be these two players of 5-stars getting the kills. The rest of the team, just really just sort of the just the distraction for the side of KGK. I mean, overall, they got the quick bomb plant down, but I mean, it was just 5-star in the end, coming out on top with the kills and able to get that defuse.
Yeah, I think KGK in a lot of instances was prepared for their opponents to be a bit more slower than they were. And when they ran down the middle of the map, Cal, after just killing somebody, he wasn't anticipating somebody to just be right there and shooting him right in the face. That's one major thing. And then Comet, he was trying to go up and pick up the pace, but I feel like at the same time, he should have knew that his opponent was coming in Jump Season because his teammate Cal just got killed from the spot that he got pushed from. So I feel like, especially early on, might be some difficulties as a sticky grenade is going to be thrown out. Don't see those every day. That there's a little bit of a lapse in communication with KGK early on in this game.
Yeah, probably a little bit of that. Yeah, and definitely not really expecting that fast-paced play. But overall, now this bomb planted on A, pretty much a familiar sight to anyone who's been watching Tuscan S&D in general. It's always that A site. The B is sort of that second alternative if things really aren't working out for some reason on A. Puzzled now with the snipe. Finds one. And that's going to be Trumps. That's going to be a nice kill off the board as well, as we've seen him sort of start to pop on off, sort of really perform. So it's going to fall down to Diffie and Kaizen versus Puzzled and Huncho.
And Huncho does get a good flank around the back of one of his opponents, but Kaizen, he's also gotten a good movement himself. But he dies! And with the perfect amount of time left for Puzzled, oh my goodness, Kaizen, if only he had waited just a millisecond longer instead of jumping out of the church. Granted, he did almost kill Puzzled, but KGK, they are going to be coming out from nowhere and winning that round. Crazy.
Yeah, a massive win. Definitely. I mean, Puzzle just landing his shots. And now that will be seen inside of KGK. Now 1-1 to 5-star. And we head into the round 3. Overall, I mean, stat-wise, I mean, Puzzled is 4-1. The rest of 5-star a little bit more spread out. You know, got some 2-2, 3-1, 2-1 over there on their end, and the sniper's in the hand for Cal, and well, puts out the shot, but can't quite hit it. But Kaizen says, "Give me the opportunity, I'll hit you."
And in the meantime, Huncho also going to be getting taken down, so the entire push from KGK towards the bomb site alongside the bomb is going to be getting swiftly taken down. Not a single casualty for 5-star Esports, looking pretty good for them. And they're being so audacious as to go into their spawn here as well. Comet, he's going to take a gunfight, but realizes that it's not in his interest to do so, so he backs up on away. Puzzled is miles and miles away from him, but look at KGK. Look at 5-star Esports. They're all within a good area of each other. They can, if any one of them dies, they're going to get the trade.
Yeah, it's really, they should be getting a trade. Puzzle able to sneak his way on in, though. Picks up the bombs. Some shots coming on out. Well, number 8 looking every which way, going like, guys, they're right around me. I swear, they're all around me. And, well, there you go. Comet gets picked off. Puzzled now, left alone, a 1v4 situation. Climbing up that ladder, and, oh, the timing for Diffie. Oh, pains to see. That's the way Call of Duty is now. Puzzled to find himself in a 1v3, 50 seconds left. Need to get this plant on down. I think 5-star, they realize that. You see number 7 now pushing on up.
Here's see how Puzzled does here. Oh, his opponent's looking right behind him. He does get the kill on him, and Puzzled, I was really looking forward to what he was going to attempt to do up against Jump Season and the remaining 3 players. That would have been one of the most amazing aces I would have ever seen if he was able to pull it off. But 5-Star Esports saying, no way, not today. We are not going to be letting you pull one over on us like that. And they will be getting the round into their favor.
Yeah, I mean, overall, from Jumps, I like that play overall. You know, he saw him, but he held his trigger. He was waiting until he had much clearer sight because he knew where he was. So with that, I mean, really just securing that kill like indefinitely for him, as opposed to maybe just getting some tags and the possibility always of getting turned on, you know. But now 5-Star gonna be up 2-1 so far. Jump sitting at a nice 5-1 on a 3 streak.
They're rushing.
So I have to see if he carries that up.
That's a tough hit marker to be getting, but they're rushing them up inside the church. TG, look at this. Scoop season. He's very close, and Comet also going to be getting killed by one of the Team KGK players. 5-Star Esports are sensing weakness, they're sensing passiveness, and they're going to be running right on into their home third, killing them all instantaneously. The round has basically only started, but it's about to end now, as Cal is the only one left. Bomb is down, and Cal finally finds an MP40 on the ground, but also finds Scoop waiting at the top of the stairs, just waiting for him to turn the corner so that he can put an end to the round in favor of 5-Star Esports.
Yes, sir, and there you go, Squibs. The final kill for that round, and yeah, 5-Stars for right now looking pretty good. I don't think this was a result that I was really expecting, honestly, off of that Bocage, but they've been playing it kind of fast in KGK. They're just not really ready for these gunfights, it seems like. Feels like they're getting caught a little bit off guard.
They absolutely are, TG. Definitely getting caught off guard by Jump, especially the fact that he's gotten 5 kills in a row. Team KGK, they're trying to respond to aggression with aggression, and it pays off pretty well for them. Only 5-Star Esports players remaining are going to be relegated to inside the church. Bomb plant now going down. I highly doubt that Diffie tries to stick the guy in the plant with a sticky grenade. Although he tries to do that after the fact, proving me a little bit wrong. But it is going to be all for nothing. KGK has got a strong plant situation. 5-Star Esports aren't quite very much together. And Comet has spotted Kaizen. So I feel as though with this time that Kaizen's going to have to take to get back up to full health and ready for another challenge, KGK, they pretty much got this on a solid lock.
Yeah. And Comet, the kill comes on through. Diffie finds one, but he does have to get this defuse. The time is running on out. Team KGK, they know this. Guzzle's coming up mid. But is he needed? The answer is going to be yes, and there you go. There's no escaping the KGK hold.
And no escaping the fate today. Not listening to that band today, as Diffie will be getting taken down by Puzzle in the middle of the map. So, KGK is going to show you that they are realizing their mistakes for one, TG, and they're making good adjustments to them. 5-Star Esports, they've been aggroing on them every single round, just going right up into their opposing third, not giving any respect to their default positions. And this time, KGK, they do the same thing, and it catches 5-Star Esports flat-footed. They're like, huh? What? You guys are being aggressive? We totally weren't expecting that, and they find 2 of them very quickly in not so great spots for them to take gunfights in.
Yeah, really. But now, the bomb planted on an A. Sticky nades at this point seem like they're the go-to equipment for a lot of these teams.
It's the new meta, bro.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, add on DLC. Use it, you test it on out. It ain't banned yet, so might as well use it until it does.
Obviously, that
now
being
stuns. Yes.
But yeah, Diffie holding his back very nicely. This is a major spot that they have to keep, but not a whole lot of time left that they need to keep it for. 15 seconds remaining. They do find one of the players. Oh, he hops out right in front of Huncho. This might be Jump Season. He's on the site, though. So KGK, regardless of how many people they have left, they are not going to be able to get this defuse away from 5-Star Esports. He was doing some nice moves there at the end, but either way, the game is secured, and they will be reestablishing their lead. Their massive lead, I should say.
Yeah, Travis is like, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die.
Right.
He's just like, I just want to see the end of the round. I want to see the beautiful explosion, you know, the beautiful work that our team is putting on in.
Yeah, and now, TG, we are coming to one of the most pivotal rounds in Search and Destroy, as I like to call it. I call it out every single time. Round K7, KGK. If they do win this one, it will be a tremendous benefit to them because Yeah, obviously it'll be the first one in the second half, but also the round 7 Gods of COD curses will be in their favor. So, honestly, they had a great push into the objective the last time, and so I think that they could definitely benefit from some good aggression early on here as well, especially with that streak missing.
Yeah, now Squid's Diffie getting some kills in KGK and a 2v4. So Comet is able to tie that up a little bit on the quieter end of this map than what we saw on the hard point. But if you can get some kills, that's great. But Kaizen, I mean, he's tracking Puzzled. Puzzled absolutely clueless. And there you go, the kill. And just like that, Comet 1v3, having to make an all-star play in this round. If you're not, then 5-star would just be one round away. And KGK at this point would have to play perfect. He has to pick up that bomb. And well, he's not even going to be able to do that as he gets taken care of.
Yeah, pivotal round to lose, because not only are you losing the round number 7, but you're putting your opponents 1 round away from victory, and you're putting yourself in a position where you have to win 4 in a row, TG. It's not looking good for KGK statistically at this point. Obviously, you've seen some crazy comebacks, but with the magnitude that it has to be in order for it to be successful, and the fact that 5-Star Esports now have the blessings of the COD gods with the round 7 curse in their favor, it's going to be a difficult thing to pull off.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, earlier today, I saw an almost crazy comeback in the S&D, but it's just so hard to just get that final round, even if you get to round 11. But
oh my God,
overall, Squid's just ending some lives over here, and with that possibly ending the map. As now it's still to Huncho. Now 1v3, the bomb gonna be getting planted.
Yeah, and he's going to have to go up against Scoob himself eventually if he wants to win this game. Not a lot of time left considering how far away he is. Diffie in a spot where he might get serendipitously found by Huncho. That's a good kill early on for Huncho. Might still be able to do this. His opponents are starting to group up together nicely. Scoob, he's going to be checking out middle map, or maybe he's not actually. He's sitting and he's waiting for his opponent to try and come at him. Instead, he knows that he has to go in for the defuse in a clear view of him, or maybe not. He's going to be hopping on the defuse. Scoop has to come into action. He's going to get taken down. Plenty of time for the defuse from Huncho. How do you do this, Huncho? That is absolutely insane. Most people would have counted him out. I'm going to be totally honest with you, TG, and I did for a little bit, but KGK, what a game. What a round, even if you don't win.
Oh, and with that round keeps the dream alive, just ever so slightly more, as we head into a position where maybe this is the start of KGK. You know, we have a heated round. The mentality is in a better spot, possibly. But, I mean, regardless, they still in a tough spot. They have to go 3 rounds. 5-star still looking for that 1 round. And for them, I mean, it's a tough round to lose. I'm going to be honest with you. A tough one to swallow, but you can still do it.
Yeah, it's the meanings of which why they lost it was the toughest part about it. Jump gonna run right on into Puzzle, though. That's a good kill to get. Now they are even Stevens once again. Although map positioning is slightly in the favor of KGK, especially now that Huncho finds Scoob a little bit to the side of him and takes him down for the count, reestablishing their manpower advantage. And now 5-Star Esports are very divided from each other, but they've still got the advantage of their opponents not having planted, so they can just sit where they are for the moment.
Yeah, well, just like that, Huncho, a nice nade. Kaizen in a 1v3, Team KGK. Maybe this is the comeback. I mean, this round certainly looking pretty good as that bomb now gets planted. And Kaizen's going to be forced to go on the offense, and, well, he tries. The offense, not quite there for him. Now it's 4-5, KGK on the verge of bringing it to a round 11.
Oh, they're getting close. Round. They're getting dangerously close, TG. Honestly, I'm shocked. I'm very shocked that KGK is still in this game, especially 2 rounds later. I said it would be hard. Not at one time did I say it would be impossible, but I said it would be very difficult. So 5-Star Esports, I mean, looking at where they're at now, they've definitely fallen a considerable way, so they're probably going to try and go back to what's given them so much success. Running right on in. Scoop's trying to repeat his performance going in here the last time, but you see Team KGK not letting it happen. He does get 1, but this time he doesn't escape with his life and get 2, so the bomb is going to be planted. 5 Star Esports, it's still a good take, but it's not as good as what they've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you're looking at the side of KGK and sort of their sort of newfound like power, it's Huncho, in my opinion, right now, going 10-7. I mean, Kyle there at 2-9, Comet though at 3-8. I mean, it's just kind of like players where it's just like the other two having to pick up quite a tall order there, a little bit of a heavy bag on their backs, and unfortunately, they will fall. As it just becomes a little bit too much. 5 Star win the S&D 6-4.
Despite the heroics that we saw from the KGK players, they are not able to bridge the deficit that has been laid before them and overcome the round 7 curse, TG. It gets you every time. It really does, the round 7 curse. And so we'll be seeing this game drawn even 1-1. We've got a series on our hands, my friend. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is also one of the first maps that 5 Star Esports has won. So get on the board in maybe more ways than one. At least if they don't win the series, they got something they can write home about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say in terms of the maps, they haven't been as close as I think I personally want them to be. But overall, in terms of the way these maps are going, it still is anyone's game. We'll be heading into a control on,
Gavudu.
I don't remember what map is Gavudu. Okay, so we'll be heading onto a control for Gavudu. This one is generally very dependent on a lot of your ARs, and if you can get spawn trapped sort of by that back tower, it can be a very, very tricky situation for the offensive side.
Yeah, it definitely can be. We have, of the 2 maps that we have in the rotation right now, Gavudu is definitely the more defender-sided, as people like to call it. There are definitely some things you can do on the attacking side to make it not quite feel that way, but it's not as easy to do as it is on, say, Tuscan, where you can relegate your opponents to one side, move the spawns around very easily. Tuscan's a little bit smaller of a map, therefore making it a little bit easier for you to do it from that perspective. But Gavudu, if you die, you've got a long trek back over there, so a lot less room for error on the attacking side. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at a tie game going into the new mode of Control. Let's see how these teams can do, and I believe this is the first week of Control, so not totally attuned with it just yet. Not a lot of data to go off of for this, so I'm really curious to see how they do go at it now. But we're going to go to a quick break as we get this next game going. Lobby is starting up, but ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right on back. Don't go anywhere.
Flowers that bloom in the darkness, it's a sighting that is rare to come across. Nobody seems to have noticed that the power that could be bestowed is lost, riding through the twilight. This armory protects my heart. There's a voice that is calling. It's calling for.
Yeah, everybody, we're going to be getting to the map 3 Gavutu right now. The series is tied on up 1-1 versus KGK and 5 Star Esports. Joined with me today, TG, is going to be Kamika.
Yes, indeedy. I'm still here, ladies and gentlemen, in case anyone was wondering. But yeah, it's a pretty tight game so far, TG. In case you guys weren't here for the first little bit, we've still got quite a little bit to go. We've got at least one more map because it is tied 1-1 as we get into map 3. 5-Star Esports, they won the Search and Destroy pretty nicely. Although I must say, KGK, they're making me a little bit nervous at the possibility of the comeback at the end of it. And 5-Star East and Team KGK, they had a very good time in the response early on.
Yes, and for right now, we'll have to see how this one plays on out. I mean, sort of what we were talking about before. This map is a little bit more on the defensive side in terms of the advantage. It doesn't mean that of the offense necessarily can't get, onto the presence, can't quite take a round. I've seen some teams take some nice offensive rounds, but definitely, if you're set up in the right way on the defensive side, the offense is very, very tricky to finesse, and we'll have to see as it will be KGK. With some of this control, they do get that first tick. Do they find the second?
I think it's looking likely, TG, especially with Comet up here. He's gotten 2 kills in a row, and just the AR presence from KGK has been indomitable. 5-Star Esports has not been able to get really much inside of the objective, and that's why they're completely circumventing the map like Scoob is here. Gonna try and come around from the backside because he just can't seem to get in the front side. I mean, if it works, it works. They do finally get Kaizen in at the last possible moment, but again, KGK, they have reinforcements that 5-Star Esports do not, and they're coming in very disjointed from each other. KGK, however, they thought they had this objective in the bag. Nice little 360 from Scoob as I'm saying this, but they're starting to go over to P2 before they fully captured P1.
Yeah, now Huncho just chilling on that site, racking up the time. Number 5, number 7, though, they start to make their advance to the A site, though. Still a lot of action. This one is almost gone. Kaizen maybe a last-ditch effort to save it, but no. Unfortunately, will not be able to do that, though, on the other hill. Diffie going to be on it for right now, the B. Only the first tick.
Yeah, and 5-Star Esports are looking pretty hunkered down over on B as they should be, but gotta be careful. Comet can still find you from that angle, and that opens up the mid-map for Puzzle to push up into your spawn. So this is the one thing you gotta worry about if you're 5-Star Esports on the defense. Is someone pushing through the middle of the map, killing you here, and now you're spawning all the way out the opposite end of the map. One thing about the defense is that the spawn traps can be even more deadly because of the size. Puzzled on this rock, it's gonna be a pain to get him out of here. They're gonna stun him up, make it difficult for them to push in simultaneously, but they do, and they knock him out. But they have to kill Head Huncho off of the ship. I don't know if they're really going to be able to do that. They're going to have to go in one at a time, and just like that, they do. Hopping onto this objective just in the nick of time, and the gunfight is won by Kaizen. This game is going to be going on just a little bit longer.
That was that. 5-Star able to hold on to that B for a little bit longer. They have to do so for another minute and 30 seconds or one of the lives, but for them, the lives is not pretty. It's 14 lives to 6. KGK still have double-digit lives. 5-Star, I mean, they're so very close to their final response.
They've left their back door wide open, TG. Comet, he's about to absolutely ruin their days if he can pull this off correctly. They're not even wise to it. They don't even think that it's possible for it to happen, and now their attention has been divided. Huncho gets back onto the objective again, runs out of bullets, but it's enough to take down one. It is very mixed on the objective, which shouldn't have been anywhere near that, but they left their back door open, and now Team KGK with the trades once again. They take it out from underneath the noses of 5-Star Esports, ruining all of their lives, running them down to 0, and KGK showing just how versatile of a team they can be in this first round.
Yeah, definitely a massive play coming around the backside, I believe, there. But, I mean, overall, yeah, I mean, KGK, they set themselves really, really nicely up onto that B point. They have the life advantage. They had really a lot of the time on their side. So for them, they could really just afford to force 5-Star to sort of come to them and get into positions where they were comfortable with toward the very end of that. But now it's going to be 5-Star looking to repay the favor as we head into the round 2.
Yep, round number 2. 5-Star Esports still looking for their first win. Kaizen, he's wary of the fact that there's going to be someone in your tank. He's just trying to make sure that if he overexposes himself like Cal does, he can put some damage onto him and they can take him down. That opens up a big spot for Kaizen to go up into. You can even go so forward into B, and it seems like 5-Star Esports trying to put their hands into both pies at the same time, trying to divide the attention of KGK, picking up on the fact that their teamwork has been pretty good when they're together, but how good is it going to be when they're apart? That's going to be the real test, TG.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much very similar to the play that KGK made last time around. This time, though, Comet comes around, and, well, the player on the hill had no sneaking suspicions. Comet was so sneaky, avoiding that objective, avoiding the contest, catching the player off guard. And for right now, it's going to be KGK looking to, I think, set up 5-star and a little bit of a spawn trap as puzzled. There's going to be one right above with the timing.
Oh, the timing is going to be great.
Opponent, yeah. I was going to say, I mean, it was bad to not catch the first player, but definitely for the second player. But, oh no! I don't think you saw that player coming up the ladder.
He's still alive. That's so crazy. He's just gotten perfect timing on every single sight line. He gets another kill, further stopping 5-star Esports from getting the position that they need to get the confidence to hop on the objective. He sees the guy up on the crow's nest here now, and he's gonna try and take him down. Does he get another kill like this? Please say no. I would have screamed my head off if he did, but Scoob is gonna be finally taking him down. But look at the time it's costed them. They have not been able to get a concerted effort into any objective because of that, mostly. And so now 5-star Esports, not a lot of time to work with if they don't win this gunfight right here, right now.
Yes, sir, and now it's gonna be Comet. Nice little win there, jumps on the hill, gets one but goes down. 13 laps and 19. 7 seconds on the clock. 5-star, they have to stop the clock. They have to be on this A objective. Players are all around these final gunfights really are going to be deciding if 5-star continue on in this round.
Oh, you gotta win this.
4 seconds of contest comes on through, and 5-star comes out clutch, adding an extra minute onto the clock. But their lives still, like last time, starting to dwindle.
Oh, and that does not help. That absolutely does not help. That Comet just found them both in the bag and shot them. But 2 kills going the other way as well. That is something, however, that Team KGK can afford because they've got double their opponent's lives, and 5-star Esports is starting to run out of respawns, in all honesty. So Diffie coming around the back, this could be a major catalyst for them to do some good stuff. And he almost does get the better of Comet, but I'm also looking at Cal here, TG. He's up in their business. He's up in their spawn, and he's going to be giving them the business as well. And now 5-star Esports, very far from the objective, far from each other, far from home, and not a lot of time to collect this time.
Yeah, Kazan hops on out, goes down. 2 lives left. Diffie and jumps. Make that, just jumps 8 seconds on the clock. There isn't really a whole lot you can do. You can take one down with ya, but in the end, is KGK now have a 2-0 round advantage. And well, next up is going to be KGK going on the offensive. 5-star. This is the round that you need to start turning things around. It's the round to do what you got on the defense side. The advantage should be in your favor, but we'll have to see how things end up playing on out.
I mean, yeah, KGK, they've looked overall better in the control. And in the respawns in general, TJ, I gotta say, they look this good. They were thoroughly tying their opponents in knots from a map control perspective in the hardpoint, and they're doing the same thing in the control as well. 5-star Esports, they've not had the presence on the map that their opponents has had, and they've pretty much also been relegated to their spawn a whole lot more often. Team KGK, they've sort of maneuvered their way into a lot better positions and made 5-star Esports pay than the other way around. You gotta say that.
Yes, definitely. And now, I have to see, number 4 is going to be on that top ship, though 5-star is kind of all around a little bit, but eventually they all will fall. So now it's going to be KGK trying to just soak up some of that A time, though. Number 8 comes on in, Kazan finds 2. And this time, though, the A keeps on ticking up for KGK. They found the first tick, the second tick well on its way, but eventually it's going to be 5-star able to put a stop to it.
Good time to start making plays for 5-star Esports. It's better late than never. Scoob jumping into action now. Just as I was saying, Team KGK have been relegating their opponents to bad positions. Look at this. They're not even able to get out of their own spawn. So Scoob, he's going to get right up into their spawn. Hetty once again kills Huncho off of it. That's 2 down, even further stopping KGK's assault. 30 seconds left. You pretty much got to work with what you have. Cal trying to get out and do some damage, and just as I'm saying that, Comet killing 2, they find themselves clean in onto the Bravo objective, getting stunned out. Enough for the 5-star Esports players to get in positions, but they still get smoked by Comet and the guys. This is great gameplay from KGK under high-pressure situations. This glide bomb coming in as well. This is going to mean death on the objective for KGK, or I guess not. I really would have thought it would, TG. I'm not going to lie to you, but somehow Comet is going to live to fight another day just for a moment, forcing the 5-star esports players to stay over there, and that they probably would have already. That's Team KGK getting control over A, and they're back in this game. Not too far down, and they've got plenty of time to get the lives going back in their favor. They can afford to, in my opinion, play the killing game a little bit more and get the lives back even. Comet, going through the middle of the map, onto top of the ship, is going to be finding Scoop, but Scoop with a close range sub is going to be getting the better of him. It's not something that Team KGK needs, as now they are at half the lives of 5-star esports, TG.
Yes, sir, and now it's going to be Squib pushing on that top rock. Comet, a little bit of a gunfight now, 38 seconds, still counting down. KGK, the lives this time around, they don't have the advantage. So 5-star on the verge of taking the first round of the control.
Looking likely, but Cal, he could be a catalyst for them to still come out with this. They just have to win their fights on the approach. He gets one of the players that is going in, but oh wow. Huncho, he's got a huge chance here. He's going to be finding jump season. He's got help from Comet in the far back, but coming into the middle of the map is going to be Scoop, not wanting to let this game fly away from them. They've got one more tick left necessary, and they will not be able to get it. Once again, heroics at the end of the round for KGK, but 5-star esports. They are still going to be getting it. Nothing is really coming to them easy, though, TG. I have to say that much.
Yeah, definitely. And for right now, we'll have to see how things continue to play on out. I mean, KGK, that round, not necessarily pretty for them, but I mean, for overall 5-star, really just picking up in the defensive side, a round that you really should be winning. So now it's time to see if 5-star esports have what it takes to take an offensive round.
Yeah, the thing about that loss as well is that it was a Pyrrhic victory for 5-star esports, meaning they had to give up a lot and it almost wasn't worth it in the end. It's showing also that the errors that made them lose their first couple of rounds, and not just this map, but the hard point as well, are still there and able to be capitalized upon by KGK at pretty much any moment. They just have to make sure that they don't get beaten up too badly early on in the map, and they can still find those backdoors up into their opponent's objectives. It's happened multiple times, and it's definitely an alarming fact for 5-star esports, especially considering we're going to be going into another respawn mode right after this.
Yes, sir, and now it's going to be Squib finding one there. Give me the rest of 5-star. Pushed on up a little bit. You see number 6. I mean, Squib, he's just going to be chilling around here, just letting KGK sort of go by, but he might have the opportunity to pounce. Finding one is going to be Cal down low. Pops on out. I think he knows there's a player around there, but will get caught. As Cal is able to find him, and maybe another one as one enters onto the boat, gets tagged. It's going to be players all around him as he's just able to finesse his way and eventually, with the help of his teammates, get the threats.
Yeah, and Cal, once again, trying to be a haymaker, realizes that the objective is not currently in their favor map-wise, so he's just going to hide in the tall grass. Amazing that he was able to get away with something like that, and pops out. That is reinforcements dead as a doornail for the 5-star esports players, so they're going to have to do what they can solo up against these incoming players. They're doing pretty well, though, and they will see the point secured. So, GG, they might be at a little bit of a life disadvantage, but again, they have the time in order to sort of fix that, I would say. Team KGK players, they are a bit away from each other, so they can definitely take them apart piece by piece if KGK don't start tightening up their ranks.
Yes, sir. Now Huncho just looking over this B site right now. Comet, much more close to the spawn. There's going to be one right above him. And they should be able to catch him. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there you go. The timing eventually does gift him the kill. There's 9 lives to 18, 5-star. So half the lives of KGK. 45 seconds on the clock to make something happen, to make something work. No progress on the B. They have to start pushing forward. They need to get these opening kills to make this break happen. Diffie might be the one to start it, finding one. But can the rest of the teams follow suit?
Oh, Comet, he might have blown his cover. He does get one, though, and Kaizen will not be able to deal with it either. Good kills again from Comet. He's going to be trying to end this one off with a bang. 15 seconds left. He's like, all right, If I'm not gonna call my streak now, it's never gonna come in. So he calls it in onto a very unfortunate scoop, but he's gonna get a taste of his own medicine. Although it doesn't quite matter, as 5-Star Esports are 5 seconds away and 2 lives left. Scoop, he'll get a consolation kill, but at the end of the day, they are going to be losing this one to KGK, who now take a lead in this series, going back into another respawn.
Yes, sir. Now is going to be a nice little 2-1 lead. Yeah, KGK overall looking very, very good in the respawns. So the next hard point is where 5-Star really needs to start to break the mold. Show they have what it takes to take a team in a respawn.
Yeah, it's now or never, quite literally, for 5-Star Esports. They've been having trouble in the respawns all night, as we've been saying. They, especially in the Bocage as well, they didn't show really any semblance of getting good rotations, let alone some good setups. And so that does sort of worry me going into Gafudu, which is quite literally all about that. But then again, it is Bocage, so maybe they were in the frame of mind that says, oh, we don't necessarily need to do this, so we're not going to do that. And so that is a mindset that a lot of teams do tend to try and go for, but they just, it didn't work out for them because KGK, they beat them so badly at getting the rotations and stuff like that that it actually did make a lot of a difference, in addition to them just having good holistic map control. 5-Star Esports, they got divided and conquered quite a lot, and now going into Gavudu, which is a lot bigger of a map. A lot more easy to find yourself astrayed from your teammates, TG. That is something that I'm worried about.
Yes, sir, and we'll have to see how things play on out. Yeah, the hard point at this point is, I mean, 5-Star, they just need to have some setups, is really what it comes down to. It just seems like they're kind of like, have a sense of somewhat what they want to do, but nothing really like fully concrete in terms of coordination and how they really want to tackle these hills.
Yeah, well, TG, we're going to have to see if they have figured out what's been going on with these hard points and these respawns in general. When we come back from this break, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be gone for about a minute or two. So don't go anywhere. Go and get some popcorn, put it in the microwave, and then it'll be, when it's done popping, you come on back. We'll be right back live once again with some Gavudu hardpoint. So don't go too far. We'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back with what could be the final map of the night. We are in map 4 on Gavudu. Currently, as it stands, we've got KGK up 2-1 against 5-Star Esports. Both teams are fighting to not be at the bottom of the leaderboard at the end of the first round of matches, and I am joined by TG.
Yes, sir, indeed you are. And, well, right now we'll have to see 5-Star need a revival in the respawns. They need to really show and improve that they can get something together. I mean, this one is one where a lot of rotations are really, really key. So if you get set up, get your ARs in place, hopefully it means a good chunk of time. But right off the bat, Comet Cal able to get some kills. Kazin, the only one to respond, but also gets swept away.
Yeah, that's the pain of the sticky grenades, is that they don't quite take the arc of the regular grenades. Puzzled is going to be getting a little bit smacked upside the head by Diffie. And so, yeah, early hill time is going to be going in the hands of KGK, and 5-Star Esports pretty much don't have a whole lot of means to contest that. Squib is going to be coming up through the middle of the map alongside the rest of his teams. And so this will leave Jump a little bit alone, and that's exactly what I was worried about, TG, is that he's going to be alone and no one is going to be able to capitalize on him going down and getting back into a good position and keeping KGK from getting the next hill rotation into their favor. And Comet putting insult to injury, absolutely destroying the counterattack as well. So once again, Team KGK looking dominant in these rotations.
There, yeah, 3 streak at the moment for Comet. Possibility for maybe one more, but no, it's gonna be Squib that takes him off. That possibility. Puzzled, finding one does get taken care of. It's hill right now. KGK, they're on it. They've been getting some time. The 5-Star starting to challenges now. A flood of both players start to charge each other. But for right now, it's looking like it's gonna be KGK that remains on top.
Yeah, and look at how little Cal cares. That's how much faith he has in his teammates to get his trades, that he'll just run right on out, reckless abandon, basically ready to die, but somehow he hasn't died, so he's like, alright, I gotta go even further just to make sure that I can die here and get my teammates a good trade. And so, yeah, obviously he's just trying to get good positions for his teammates, and that's exactly what he does, pushing the envelope. In 5-Star Esports, they're not reacting very good under pressure. It's a little bit surprising considering how much pressure they put on their opponents in the search and destroy, but I guess it's not quite the same when you can't hit the reset button after every single round. And Team KGK has definitely looked like they are the better team under pressure in the respawns.
Yes, sir. Now Cal
Back door open.
comes on up, goes out, and well, there you go. Huncho, last alive right now. Push on forward, making his play from behind. Could find 5-Star a little bit off guard, but 30 seconds left on this hill. 5-Stars, what time can they have? Can they soak it on up? Or will Huncho be the one to end it? Yes, he is. But it's going to be the team name from Puzzles that takes them out. But regardless, KGK still the time going to them.
Yes, indeed it is. But 5-Star Esports, with that break, they're going to be gifted the P4 spawns. But can they hold it up against their opponents? Diffie's trying to say yes, and they will stop the initial attack. Cal is still up and in a good position to maybe get a kill onto 5-Star Esports, making them in a weakened state as they try to approach into the objective. But KGK, they're still pretty far back, so at the end of after that kill, 5-Star Esports is going to be able to reset themselves and be primed and ready for this overall push.
Yep, it will be Diffie. Finding one, goes for the second. The trade is there. Right now, KGK leading 102 to 54.
Yes, they are.
There's the 5-Star. Claiming some time, trying to close that gap. Comet pushes forward a little bit. It's going to be one to his left. Tries to take the child, but it's going to be Diffie. He gets the last say.
Yeah, Huncho now going down as well. We see Squib starting to try and make some good rotations for himself. It's a little bit late, in my opinion, for where he should be at right now, but, I mean, Team KGK, they haven't set up perfectly for it either, so they can get away with it. Squib, up top. He knows that there's generally going to be someone in the capping position. He's trying to figure out where it is. Is it behind those barrels? That's what he thinks, so he's going to shoot the explosive one. Now he's switching over to the other Comet spot behind the barrels, but shots are coming from inside the objective, so he knows that both of those are not quite it. In the meantime, 5-Star Esports has found the back door of their opponents open for once, and they are going to be running right on into it and killing them off the objective, or so I thought. Huncho is going to be wise to it and seals the objective, at least for the moment, into his team's favor.
And at this point now, Puzzled at the top ship, finds one, the trades are there. 5-star trying to make their way onto this hill, but I don't think it's an effort that's going to really bear much results. As now just scrap time really that's left. 15 seconds. Hazen, he's on the hill somewhat, but right before he can touch it, goes down, and now the P1. The next set of rotations, KGK, a nice 60-point lead.
Yeah, and Cal's going to be solo on it, but he's doing a pretty good job. Now his teammates are going to start to fall in line all around him. KGK, again, they have looked strong on the setup. They haven't really been broken too hard on any of these hills. The one good hill that 5-Star Esports has had so far was P4, and that was given to them because KGK broke their spawns late, and they weren't able to go back in like they thought they would have and take it back. So that's something that KGK is probably going to learn from in the times going forward when we go back to P4. But yeah, 5-Star Esports, they definitely need to work on their breaking ability going in as a team and making sure that they get trades out evenly. Something that they have not been able to do so far. There's another kill on Kaizen that Scoob is not able to quite find a trading kill out to. And now KGK, they're realizing that the time is starting to run low. That's worth fighting for. And so they're going to try and fall in around the people on the ship and give some support as the 5-Star Esports players are starting to come there themselves.
Yes, sir. Now Kaizen hops on out. Teammates starting to get the hill. The P2. A good sign from them last time around. It was KGK that really dominated this hill. So for 5-Star, if they can do it on this set of rotations, it can be a little bit of a good sign, but also gets them very much back in this game. As now the gap is closed. Very, very much the lead change on the horizon. Puzzled. Gonna be looking for a player. Finds him. Breaks onto the hill. 5-Star. Where's the response? Can they get on it? Puzzled. I mean, he's running out of shots. Will fall to Kaizen. 5-Star. They still have quite a bit to go on this hill. The scrap time still in contention.
Yeah, what you really should be worrying about now if your jump is going to the next objective, and that's exactly what his teammates are. They're starting to pick up on the rotations, and this is great to see from 5-Star Esports. I gotta give credit where credit is due, TG. They completely wipe their opponents out of the next spawns, and they're gonna be ready on the next hill as well. Team KGK, they don't really have anything going for them except for Huncho, who does find one gap from their opponents in the middle of the map, able to get around the back, and now the spawns have flipped because 5-Star Esports were focused on holding it from the other way. But Kaizen does audaciously jump out of the landing craft and kill his opponent without any repercussions.
Yeah, now Kaizen, a nice kill from him. Getting tagged, his teammates, can they watch his back? But the answer is no, because the nades are able to slip on by. Really without any problem, honestly, as nades and flying projectiles tend to do. And Cal at the top ring, a good kill this time. 5-Star, they have this lead, but they do not have the rotation. It's going to be this battle between number 4 and number 5. Kaizen gets caught, number 5 with number 7. Cal watching the left side. The spawn should go to KGK, as they also soak up some of the scrap time. 5-Star, KGK running out of time for both teams.
Now, TG, this is exactly something that I pointed out. Team KGK, I felt like they gave up the P4 spawns by accident, and now they're much more attentive to it this time. And, ooh, Scoob is going to be able to take down Cal in the close range, so that leaves KGK a little bit diminished. 5-Star Esports is going to be able to get in a good attack before they get fully up into strength and positions. But Cal, he's got to get a Joe free card in the glide bomb, so they're going to be a hold off for at least a little bit, but you still got to worry about Kaizen coming around the back. Cal and the rest don't seem very aware of him. He's going to be able to hop on the objective, kill the player off of it, and this is key time, TG. They're neck and neck right now, and when we start worrying about this rotation, 5-Star Esports is going to have a little bit of an advantage. They're starting to think about it, and now you see Jumps is starting to get over there. This is a big fight between him and Puzzled. And he wins it!
This is the one that comes out on top. Oh, big win. But there's more players from KGK, no one from 5-Star to help them on out. So that big, massive win starts to fade away. The effect not really going to be long-lived.
Oh, but Diffie might be able to do something, does kill Cal, and that basically opens the floodgates for 5-Star Esports to come into the objective, but they've still got Comet trying to get up close and personal with them. KGK, they're still trying to reel back in their map control positioning. Cal going towards the middle of the map and trying to stop anyone from coming into the ship. It is once again a tie game, TG. And 5-Star Esports, they've got to get their final attack perfected if they are going to win this one right here, right now.
Yeah, and Puzzle and Comet got some kills, certainly slowing down the pace for the side of 5-Star. Well, there you go. That's a good little wave of kills, but it's going to be a presence from 5-Star still on this hill.
Oh, no!
Have jumps as well, and he will fall. And just like that, now KGK that takes the win, 250-237. A final last-ditch effort trying to come on through from 5-Star. But in the end, it's not quite enough.
Yeah, 5-Star Esports, valiant effort. Valiant effort. No one can take that away from you. That was closer of a hard point than really I think anyone would have given them credit to do. So that was a great map out of them. You can't really say it any other way, TG. That was as close as it gets. KGK, I'm sure they thought that it was possible that they were going to be going into another search and destroy as well, which would have made them feel not too comfortable considering the last one went up against 5-Star Esports. So we could have very well been seeing another map, but unfortunately, at a time when it mattered most, 5-Star Esports fell back into their tendencies of not supporting each other on the major pushes. We had that key moment at the end, if you remember. I think it was... Shoot, who was it there at the end from 5-Star Esports that won that huge gunfight? That if he had even just one more player there with him, could have sealed the game back in their favor.
I think it was jumps there, yeah, on that rotation. Really, it just... They put too much attention in that second to last hill. They were like, we're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep on pushing. They did not think about the spawns because at that point it was KGK. It would have gotten close to a victory, but by the time it was like 30 seconds left or so, like KGK couldn't have won off that hill. And, you know, I just think 5-Star just committed too much effort to pushing that hill when really the win was going to be on the next hill where they need to have the setup where it's so tough to break.
Yeah, they just got distracted at literally the worst time for them to get distracted. And KGK, they do get by from the skin of their teeth. But overall, good match at the bottom of the leaderboard, TG. I gotta say, Team KGK and 5-Star Esports, they both brought it. But at the end of the day, Team KGK is going to be our sole winner, putting them at 2-4 so far in the season. And that will only help them as they have another team that's pretty close. So if they can go up against that team next, they can slowly but surely climb up the leaderboard. They've still got plenty of time to do it. I'm sure that they have also figured out a lot of stuff that they've been doing wrong. They looked really informed tonight. Got to work on the S&D just a little bit. That's one thing I got to add. That's my one little bit of criticism is that they got to work on their S&D a little bit and make sure that they don't fall into funks like they did on the hard point. But that's more in-depth than we really have time for here at the end. So congratulations to KGK, 5-Star. Good shout to you as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the match for tonight. And we're just going to give you some big thanks and shout out our sponsors. Go ahead, TG. Who we got?
Yes, sir. I believe we got Glitch Energy. They're a nice little energy drink to have. Certainly perk yourself up, especially if you get to the later end of the night here, especially during this game. As it sort of kept dragging on, making the plays. Certainly a lot of good crack plays overall from everyone, as well as Get Good hosts, I believe, who was also, just great servers. Lovely stuff, keeping tracks of stats on the back end for the side of K7 as well.
Yes, and we've also got Designed by You and Killer Jerky, making you some awesome snacks. All you got to do is go ahead and check them out. They've got some great beef jerky, and I think they've also got some fruit snacks. So if you like any of those things, Killer Jerky is for you. And also Innovative Gear, ladies and gentlemen, can't forget about them. Designing the K7 apparel, so if you're in need of some apparel of any kind, K7 related, you can go ahead and give them some love. They do great work, and they've been working with K7 for years, so they've got our vouch 100%. Anyways, TG, last person I want to thank is going to be you for coming in and casting this one with me. It was a pleasure as always, and all of you in the audience as well. I always like to make the reference to if a tree falls in the forest and anyone is there to hear it, does it make a sound? It's the same thing with COD matches. If no one's around to see it, does it really even matter? So you guys, thank you so much for coming and watching this and giving all the more reason to have it being broadcasted. We'll be seeing you all in the next week on Monday. Be there or be square. We'll see you then.